Wolfie.
Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, let's play darts! First year at Lakeside, give a great welcome, England's Gary Stone, Scotland's Gary Stone. His opponent is Wolfie Martin Adams.
Great champion, but Gary Stone really thinks he can do this. We will see. In the Lakeside commentary box, it's David Croft and Tony Green.
So, a drop of water for the Wolf. And if consistency wins titles, he's the man that will win more than he has done yet. Looking for his third title this year. The third on the trot. But like everything else, David, you really fancy Gary Stone, don't you?
As a darts player, yes. I like the way Gary Stone has just come here on his Lakeside debut and treated it like he was playing in the Adrian District League, except when it got down to the serious match-winning dart in his first round match against Ron Molenkamp. There were no real nerves there, I thought, for him. And who's afraid of the big bad Wolf? He's taking the message to Martin Adams right from the outset, even with his walk-on music.
Yeah, well, as I said, to equal that record of the great Eric Bristow,
Thank you, ladies
I
and
would
gentlemen.
say
First
he
set,
has a
first
great
leg.
chance,
Gary to throw
but whether
first.
he'll win 5 is
Game
another
on.
thing.
And it's Gary Stone to get us underway. The 30-year-old from Larkhall in Scotland against Martin Adams, 55 years of age now, from Market Deeping in Cambridgeshire.
100.
And there's a fair few Wolfie fans here tonight, I can tell you.
Yeah, Cinderella's here as well.
Having a ball.
140.
There was a great moment this afternoon where Martin Adams was standing having a chat with some English players gathered around underneath some of the hotel rooms.
140.
And Gary Stone, who had been practicing in his room with Ross Montgomery, had turned up their stereo and were blazing Flower of Scotland out across the lakeside as loud as they possibly
100.
could to send a message to the England boys.
Well, it's helping here. He's had a good start, his Stone.
It's just treating it like any normal match. That's
80.
unlucky from Adams there, and it's cost him a chance to get down to a finish. So Stone has 6 darts from 180.
Yeah, advantage of throw in this leg. To remind you, it's the best of 7 sets.
60.
Only 60 there, though.
Yeah, but Shanghai coming back all on the 20s. Can't finish here, Martin, but let's see this.
85.
Can he at Shanghai
Gary,
to get us
require
underway with his
120.
first leg? Wants the treble. Yes, now the double. Oh, just dropped.
100. Martin, you require
Not
96.
far away, was it? How many times have we seen Adams take this out in 2 darts? Double 18. Oh dear, now, did he think that was in? Overextended. Oh dear.
78.
Seemed to be flying,
Gary, you
didn't he?
require 20.
Oopsies, wasn't it?
Double 10. That's the
Game
one.
shot. And the first leg. Gary Stone.
As you
Second leg
said,
is
David,
Martin to throw first. Game on.
Gary Stone, no mean slouch at this game. I know you had a little bet on him in the first round. Oh, yes.
180.
All standing.
Good reply from Stone.
140.
Great start from Martin Adams to the leg. Said the one thing he's been trying to concentrate on in his practice for this match is getting a much straighter throw. He felt he was straying either side against Scott Mitchell. Maybe practice made perfect on that occasion.
41.
As we saw the replay of the 180, and they're the cuddlier version of the Wolves tonight.
Are they Cubs?
Good to see, though, that Adams had analysed his first-round game against Scott Mitchell. He averaged
60.
just over 90,
Martin,
but
you require
was far from a
121.
complete performance from him.
The treble 17 ball.
$57.
180 ton, 100. Just 57 going for his finish.
Going to be under a bit of pressure when he comes back.
140.
Gary Stone wants
Martin,
Shanghai
you
again.
require 64.
16 is the shot. That's 8 of them. So 16, leave double top. Double top.
24.
Well, now then,
Gary, you require 120.
what do you think?
I think he's got an excellent chance. He nearly bust it, but it's Tubbs.
80.
You only said that after
Martin,
hitting
you
the treble
require
20.
I couldn't see where it had gone at first.
Double top. Double 10. Yes,
Game
that's it.
shot. And the second leg. Martin Adams.
All square.
Third leg is Gary to throw first. Game on.
Proper darts. Good darts it was. And really interesting couple of legs that.
26.
As Martin Adams finishes off with a double 10. But in both the opening legs, both players have had a chance to win each of the legs. Wonder if it's going to be nip and tuck throughout.
Well, he's only at 26 to get him underway. It's Gary.
100.
It was the unlucky 26 though, wasn't it? You know, 2 in the treble 1, just the wrong side.
100.
Adams does seem to have cured that problem he had against Scotty Mitchell, though. He is much straighter, more consistent on his tons. With these early exchanges or anything to go by.
Well, I think it's that first round, you know, 3 sets. And
140.
it makes you think they're really in it with problems if they can get an opponent getting the big scores and going for the finishes, you know, well.
Yeah, and I think coupled with the fact that
60.
Scott Mitchell, one of those opponents that it never really seems to bring the best out of Martin Adams, transpired to give him a match in which he only actually hit 2 180s.
60.
Gary Stone beat Ron Molenkamp 3-0, hit before 180s, had a better double percentage and a better average.
Let's just watch this one. The side view. That's a 5.
85.
Nick Knowles, the referee for this match. And there he is.
87. Martin, you require 156.
Well, not straight enough. Treble 5 thwarts Adams' attempt at a 156.
55. Gary, you require 88.
Okay, come on, Gary. Treble 20. 18. Leaves the ball. Lucky.
63.
He's there again, though, is
Martin, you
Adams.
require
Quite.
101.
Will Adams get a chance on 101? Needs treble 19 to leave double 12. He's not going to get a chance on this visit.
49. Gary, you require
A
25.
little more straightforward. 17 has missed. He needed that for double 4. He's only going to have one dart at a double here. Double 3 it is as well. And he's checking, and sorry, the realisation is one of the nastiest doubles awaits, unless he hits it, of course. No.
22.
He was right, it is.
Martin, you require 52.
To take the lead. 20. Straight in the middle. Double 16. Yes.
Game shot, and the third leg. Martin Adams.
Well, it was an invitation that the defending champion was only
Fourth
too
leg
happy
is Martin to
to
throw
accept.
first. Game on.
Lovely little glance off the flight and into the bed. And Martin Adams has the break of throw.
The thing is, David, you can't afford to miss doubles. And once them finishes are there,
60.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
he should have had that leg if he wants to win this match.
but
Scoring well.
Yeah, he is scoring well.
140.
Just got to put it to the back of his mind now, hasn't he? Which is easier said than done.
Is enough to contend with up there.
What's interesting is that
85.
Martin Adams might have hit the only maximum so far in this game, but Gary Stone has hit 5 140s so far.
Yeah, he's been consistent with the trebles. And that should give him
140.
encouragement.
Adams to win and Palace to go all the way to Wembley. What a double.
$140.
Yeah, Mr. Consistency.
$60.
I don't know if he's the oldest. I'm sure he must be in the lineup. 55 years of age.
Yeah, Dean Winstanley might look older, but he is only 30.
85.
He'll love you for that.
Gary, you require 161.
Lovely lad, Dean Winstanley.
99.
And a fair
Martin,
handy
you
darts
require
player as well now.
131.
Adams 1-3-1 for the set.
Yeah, 71 left, so treble 13. Would have left double 16.
91.
So, now then, Mr.
Gary, you
Stone.
require 62.
Treble 10 if you want double 16. Double 16. You've got one dart to level this set. Oh,
30.
this is the problem, David. This
Martin,
is the
you
problem.
require 40.
It's pressure, isn't it? But there are chances on either side.
Game
Adams,
shot.
though, steps
And the
in
first set.
to settle
Martin
matters.
Adams.
Takes the first set against the throw. Could easily have gone the other way. But so far, so good for the defending champion.
Second set, first leg, it's Martin to throw first. Game on.
It is now carrying on where he left off last year. Here's Martin. And yes, look at that.
180.
Perfect.
It's almost as if it's released a huge amount of
97.
pressure, just taking that first set. Adams, who has a great record against Scotsmen in the World Championship. It's only ever lost to one Scotsman
55.
in the 6 matches against the men from the north of the border, and that was Bob Taylor back in 2003, the last time Adams went out in the second round.
180.
Well done, Stoney. It's his nickname.
And Paul Jennings and Mrs. Jennings relaxing Andrea with her hubby in the back of the audience.
81.
Very good player, that Paul Jennings.
Oh, yes. Here for the first time. So many new faces. Although we've seen the chiseled looks of Martin Adams on many an occasion. His 19th consecutive
100.
Lakeside it is.
Gary, you require 143. $60. Martin, you require 85.
Certainly pushes them into the board. It's more relaxed throw. So double top.
Game shot and the first leg. Martin Adams.
Yeah, cruising at the moment.
Second leg, it's Gary throwing first.
Yep, lost the last 3 legs, Gary Stone now.
100.
All changes, doesn't it, this sport, when you feel comfortable at the hockey.
Yeah, he's got a perfect stance as Martin.
85.
It's another 85, though, Tony, even with that perfect stance. He did drift again.
Maybe take a look at it again then.
83.
Stone couldn't take advantage, though, could he?
Usually rock solid there. Yeah, that's the way. Starts to move now. Try and get another one in there. Just that little
100.
movement to go for his darts with the last one.
And what you can't see from the side is that Adams also throws quite wide from the right-hand side of the hockey. Throws across the bed.
81.
Too much movement there, I think, from Gary Stone with his last dart. Just on his toes a bit.
Mind you, who are we to
60.
criticise the titles that he's won?
I don't think we're there to criticise either player, given the standard of our darts these days, Tony.
140.
Stone on 97. The chance now.
Gary, you require 97.
Take a leg. Treble 19. 8 teams. Single 20.
57.
156.
Martin,
It's
you
a
require
very good outshot.
156.
For Adams, it's perfect. He likes double 18, but he needed 2 treble 20s, not a treble 1. This is going to be interesting here, because Gary Stone
83.
probably the least pressure
Gary,
on a
you
double
require
he's had
40.
since the second leg. And he still isn't up to it. No,
20.
dear.
Double
Needs
trouble.
to settle.
Martin, you require 73.
Double trouble, Davey. 19s. Go further ahead. Single 14. Double top.
Oh, 33. Gary, you require 20.
Come on, can you get a double? Double 10. This time. Yes.
Game shot and the second leg.
13 attempts.
Stone.
That's only his
Third
second
leg is
double of the
Martin
match.
throwing first.
And I don't think it's going to lift any pressure on Gary Stone, given that it took him 6 darts to complete that particular leg.
100.
Like I said, you can score well, but once you get down there, you've got to do the job. You've got to get in that double.
55.
It gives your opponent so much confidence.
It's the only difference between the 2 players, really, at the moment as well. Adams doesn't look totally in control on the double.
85.
And he's starting to stray into that single 5 bed with more regularity. And Stone just looks a bit petrified.
Yeah, he's not rolling tonight, is he?
100.
That's better from Adams. Lovely, lovely.
180.
They love it. Really do.
A trio of trebles and 3 180s, and
140.
Stone comes back
Martin
with another
require
140, but it's not enough at this
136.
moment.
Well, the finish is on. 16 now.
96.
So a double top when Adams comes to the hockey.
100. Martin, you
It's,
require 40.
Better suited to Royal Ascot, that hat. Can Adams trot on and take this third leg? Yes, he can. No problem with double
And the
10.
third leg. Martin Adams. Fourth leg, it's Gary to throw first. Game on.
So going with throw this particular set.
76.
That was a good recovery, that last start. And that was the shot for the finish from Martin. You saw how clinical it went in.
140.
Yeah, but still Adams took advantage with a 140.
60. 100.
Stone started at this leg,
100.
and there his partner, Claire, gives him a little ripple of applause. She was the one who suggested he had to get a dartboard in the house. Start taking this game a bit more seriously.
60.
Seemed like a good suggestion to me.
But on this leg, 64 behind before the throw.
127.
So he's got a good chance here now. Stone 138, good outshot. And they need to take it out the way things are. Very smart there, Nick Rolls into tonight.
100.
Yeah, got his
Gary, you require 138.
best tucks on. Now, are we going to see the best of Gary Stone? Treble 18, would have left double 12. He just wanted to make
98.
sure of getting to a
Martin,
double
you
by
require
following that first treble
101.
20 in. Didn't quite go for him. Treble 19 for Adams now. Would have left him double 12 for the set, but let's see if Gary Stone is now up to taking double top in
57.
one dart, Tony.
To level the set,
Gary, you require 40.
as David just said. Double top. Ooh. Good marker.
Game
Yes, it was a
shot.
good
And the
marker.
fourth leg, Gary Stone. Fifth leg is Martin to throw first. Game on.
So 2-2 in the set. Just to remind you, best of 7 sets.
100.
And a double top for Gary Stone. Is he going to get to a double challenge Martin Adams in this particular leg? A leg he needs to break the defending
100.
champion, which is not something he's managed to do so far. 4 legs started, 4 legs won for Wolfie.
Yeah, good start from both players.
140.
Ton, 140 to follow for Martin. Could this be a 180? Well be. Oh, that was flying. That.
125.
Where did that come from?
How would you explain that, Tony? Is it slipped out of their hand? Did he get carried away, or?
No, I think I've never seen one go so high than that. Yeah, yeah, they are. That's how it's done.
180.
They're showing him how it's done now. The crowd are loving this. These high scores.
That was absolutely
80.
clinical
Martin,
from Martin
you require
Adams, though. To
81.
chuck that 180 in at that moment totally changed the momentum of this leg. and double 13 gets him now the set. Oh, just
68.
missed. But Stone can't come back and take this out. Too many numbers on the board for him.
No, just live in hope, I'm afraid. Will 13 be lucky to Adams?
60.
So that's what he needs.
Martin, you require 13.
Single 5. Double 4. Yes, he
Game
can.
shot.
And he
And the
does.
second set. Gary,
Well,
Martin
it has been
Adams.
nip and tuck. Gary Stone's had his chances. Thing is, though, Martin Adams has taken them. And the #1 seed, the defending champion, 2 sets up.
Solid start from the champion. It's Lakeside World Championship Darts live on ESPN tonight and every night this week. And the next 2 sets will be played in a few minutes' time. Lakeside Darts here on ESPN. The second round of this year's BDO Lakeside World Championship is underway, and so far tonight we've seen Paul Jennings beat Steve Douglas, first time in the quarterfinals for the scaffolder from Hartlepool, and he plays Holland's Wesley Harms in the last 8. Wesley beat Robbie Green of the Wirral. Nightmare for Robbie this evening. Still to come later tonight, Ross Montgomery will meet Tony O'Shea for a place in the last 8. That's a really difficult match to call. And the match underway is Gary Stone versus defending Lakeside World Champion Martin Adams, who's won the BDO World title 3 times in the last 5 years. Players back on the stage, back to David Croft and Tony Green.
Okay, so after a short break there, we'll see Martin there just getting refreshed. And as Gary Stone takes his 3 darts practice, he'll be thinking, how can I get out of this? It's 2-0 down.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Third set, first leg. It's Gary to throw first. Game on.
So off we go. Gary Stone 2-0 down. Can he come back with a fling?
100.
Well, he came out and changed his music and started out with Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf. And whilst I'm not sure Gary Stone is necessarily afraid of Martin Adams, he seems scared stiff when it gets down to a double at the
59.
moment. He's only hit 3 out of his 15 attempts. 20% checkout, which is not good enough to beat Martin Adams. 6 out of 15.
83.
That's okay, that 40% at the moment. But I don't think Gary Stone's out of this, Tony, given they both had the same amount of attempts at a double.
Well, he's kicked off with 59.
100.
So every opportunity now with the advantage of winning this leg.
Just needs to start to comfortably hold his throw if he can.
100.
The scoring is there, but he does need to brush up on his finishing.
I think he's rushing a little bit myself.
And Warren Adams having a little chat to himself out the back while his dad is up there throwing.
100.
Darren, his other son.
That's
I
right.
don't know where he is, whether he's here.
And Sharon not in the audience tonight. She's back at home,
55.
but meant to be coming down on Friday, so she's confident that her hubby will be around for the final weekend.
Darren, Warren, Sharon and Martin. Stone on 163, not an
85.
outshot.
He hit a 20 with his last dart, didn't he? And cost him the opportunity.
Martin on 157. Nice finish.
95.
Treble 20, treble
Martin, you
19.
require 157.
So Stone will definitely be coming back.
And
85.
rescuing that visit with the
Gary, you
final
require
dart.
68.
Gary Stone do here. He's going to have to go 17 bull. He missed the treble with the second dart. He's made it tough for
43.
himself again,
Martin,
Gary
you
Stone.
require
He's doing it all the
72.
time. He's rushing too much. He's getting up there and just flinging. So single 20. Double top.
52.
Now then,
Gary, you require 25.
options, 17, double 4.
Game
Yes, at
shot.
last.
And the first leg. Gary Stone.
Well, unlike in the first
Second leg,
set,
Martin to throw first. Game on.
Gary Stone wanting 17, hit 17 and made no mistake on the double 4, but he did make that leg a little harder than it should have been
100.
by messing up on the 68, Tony.
Yeah, it's like I said, we know how he can play, but it's bringing it to the hockey here.
100.
It's easy practicing. It's not so easy to count. That's where you get your experience from. That's where Martin got it all from.
It's the hottest place in the world
59.
to freeze, is that lakeside stage, and that's what certain players do. When you're on your debut as well, it can be twice
60.
as tricky.
I mean, when you think Martin, 4 first-round matches he lost.
Well, quite, and he has been beaten by debutants before. Maybe Gary Stone could take heart from the fact that Roger Carter and Robbie Widdows in 97 and 98 and Steve Coote in 2000 all dispatched Martin Adams on the debut here. And that's put some pressure now on the Adams throw, that 180.
It certainly raised the audience. Yeah, it's left him 161.
Gary, you require 161.
Treble 20, treble 17 ball.
Shook his head, though, after the first dart, didn't he?
See, but he's up to the hockey and bang, he's gone.
Martin, you require 102.
Sadly missed the 25, was right to go for it. Might not make any odds, as Adams wants double 16 to hold throw. There you
Game
go.
shot. And the
Nice.
second leg. Martin Adams.
As cool as a cucumber.
Third leg, it's Gary to throw first. Game on.
Nice check out of the match. At 102.
45.
And off he goes again. Straight in.
I don't think this match is that slow. I'm not sure why. Is he on and out there?
It's the heat, I think, gets to them.
55.
Well, 45 and then 55. Gary Stone is shaking his head again.
Where can I hide? He looks very hot up there tonight as well, David.
140.
Starting to feel the heat a little bit. And this is not the leg he wanted at this stage of the match. Just when he thought he might have a chance to throw his way back into contention, he's rather chucked it away so far.
100.
Every time he comes back, looks forward at the board, and the looking at a treble 20 each time.
140.
Oh, we won't be looking at him for much longer, but what an effort he's made tonight. Very nice, sir.
He's climbed a few mountains, hasn't he?
100.
Okay, then 76 coming in.
76.
Treble 20. Double 8.
Game shot. And the third leg.
No problem
Martin
at all.
Adams.
2-1 up in the third set.
And a little raise of the eyebrow there
Fourth
from
leg
the
is
Scotsman.
Martin to throw first. Game on.
Second time of the match that his throw has been broken. Adams so far been absolutely perfect
100.
when he started a leg in terms of holding on to that leg.
$60.
Yes, if Martin takes this one, it'll be a long road back.
I wouldn't say it's been 6 of his best, but certainly it's 6 in the bag from the legs that Martin Adams started.
60.
Well, considering all these other players, they've all been losing the throw. Strange.
Doing just enough at the moment.
140.
Straight in. Well, it's to take the one off at some time.
Well, he's done just that. The man who's averaged just under 100 on his throw. There's Martin Adams.
140.
His overall average, 91.5. So he's been very strong when starting a leg.
Got Stones on a finish.
Exactly.
161. So is Martin after this one, I would think. Even a 20 will do.
100.
Big
Gary, you
outshot.
require 161.
Treble 20, yes. Treble 17. Yes, ball. 161. Oh, unlucky.
136.
So
Martin, you
unlucky.
require 160.
Would have been the highest. The 160 of Martin Adams is the highest so far. Well, the 160 was going for, but he just missed with the
100.
first start. Now,
Gary,
this
you require
is the best
25.
opportunity Gary Stone's had for a while to break the throw. And he's
Game
done it!
shot.
He's
And
hit
the fourth
straight
leg.
back with a 14
Gary
dart
Stone.
leg. First time Martin Adams has been broken, and the first time Gary Stone, for me, looked confident, stepping up there, Tony, just going for it.
It shows that he can do it. You know, I mean, maybe that'll just give him that G-up he needs. I don't know.
Fifth
What
leg,
to
it's
see.
Gary to throw first. Game on.
Here we go. Straight into the treble 20, twice. 3 times, that's a hat-trick.
180.
What's happened here? What a turnaround, quickly.
It was interesting, went back to the table, dried himself off, took a moment to compose, came up with the 3 treble 20s.
100.
How nice must that look for him?
Can we have another one? Oh, only a fraction away. Yes,
83.
that keeps you on the road.
There's the England supporter cheering the Scots throw. No thoughts of a referendum there.
Yes.
England and Scotland in perfect harmony.
Yes, the flower of Scotland.
100.
Right, Storm when he comes back to the hockey on 138 to win a set.
How many times, though, Tony, has Martin Adams strayed into that
82.
single 5 bed
Gary, you
when
require
aiming for a treble 20?
138.
He's not cured that problem he had against Scott Mitchell of throwing not straight
60.
enough.
Only 60, so at least 78. But Adams, in this leg, 259.
He's a single 19 at least, but the treble will be handy.
137.
He's on a finish now,
Gary,
but
you
this
require 78.
Gary Stone for the set. Single 20, leaves double top.
58.
Just a little snatch on it.
Martin, you require 122.
And Adams is back in.
Okay. 104 left, so treble 18. He'll stay there.
48.
Wasn't far away with
Gary, you
either of
require
those 2
20.
attempts at treble 18. Now hoping Stone misses. That's a good marker for him. Doesn't have to adjust so much now. No, dear,
No
unlucky.
score. Martin, you require 74.
Alleghi was favourite to win, now he's given Martin a chance. Treble 14, oh, that's 33. So single 9, double 16 the shot.
9 double 16, I would have thought, because he loves double 16, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
no problem. Yes, it's
Game
there.
shot.
It's another
And the
set.
third set. Martin Adams.
It's 3 love up is Martin Adams. It's a cakewalk now.
Martin Adams, 25 years the senior in this
Fourth
match.
set, first leg. It's Martin to throw first. Game on.
Just like he's taken the candy from the baby and taken his pocket money off him too. Gary Stone throwing for the set. Missed out and Adams stepped right in.
And there's the advantage in this, the fourth set, which will take him through to the next round, should he win it.
46.
Could have been so different, this match. But ifs and buts and maybes do not win you a game of darts. Stone could lose 4-0 here and think,
60.
what on earth went wrong?
Well, he's not really pushed Martin, has he? Never got him thinking. Only these scores that he's hitting now
140.
can do that. And finishing.
Yeah, he's pushed him, but only so far.
Yeah.
Not stretched him.
$60. $99.
Wolfie, an ambassador, the UK World Conservation Trust. Is Tuma still alive?
As far as I know,
Yeah.
he still wears the
60.
wolf ring on his finger.
He's adopted wolf. Mind you, he's a great ambassador for England, is Martin.
100.
Absolutely. England captain, and of course World Cup winning captain in the past 12 months. There is the wolf shining brightly along with the rest of his darts bling.
135.
Still can't beat
Gary, you
Bobby.
require 116.
And Stone still can't beat Adams, not with that first
78.
dart. He's on to a
Martin, you
finish.
require 86.
Adams 86 though, a little more straightforward.
This is a good one. Double 16 the shot.
Game
He never misses,
shot.
does
And the
he?
first leg.
Consistency
Martin
wins matches, and he's got it.
Well,
Second leg, it's Gary to throw first. Game on.
we've seen Martin Adams play better, but a win is a win, and he's looking very good for that win, unless Gary Stone can
140.
find something incredible when he gets down to a double. Sadly, we've been saying that since the first set, haven't we, Tony?
Right the way through. Oh,
140.
so anything you can do, I can do. That's what Adam's thinking.
100.
140 ton. And another big score here to add to the 140 is just it.
100.
All square after 6 darts.
91.5 average for Martin Adams. Seen him average more in the past.
83.
What's keeping him in this game are those stats on the doubles. 10 out of 20, 50%. That's pretty good, really. At this sort of level, you will not be unhappy with that at all. Stone, 22%. You've got to buy yourself, haven't you? Double the opportunities if you're going to miss as many as he has.
It's true. As Adams will be coming back now for 161.
58.
Having thrown
Martin, you
9
require
darts.
161.
Treble 20. So 141 before this start. A great opportunity for Stone. It's a Shanghai
100.
on
Gary, you
20s.
require 120.
Give it us something to shout about. Wife Claire watches on. It is tops for Stone. Lovely.
Game shot. And
Lovely
the second
stuff.
leg. Gary Stone.
And she shouts about it as her man gets
Third
his
leg is
highest
Martin
finish
to throw first.
in a World
Game
Championship
on.
match. If it had played like that from the start, what a tussle this would have been.
95.
It's never over, is it? You know.
Well,
I wonder what she'd be like if he was winning.
95.
Adams feeling the heat a little bit.
60.
He's not the only one. Someone wake her up.
She did bring a sleeping bag with her, actually.
100.
Oh, dear.
That's cruel. Only somebody like you would do that, Dave.
Absolutely. It's her own fault, Tony.
100.
As we get back to the action,
97.
I get all sorts here.
Well, Stone now from 209, running out of opportunities, so he's going to have to make the best of this one, and he is ahead. Little single 19.
99.
That's okay.
Martin, you
This
require
finish is a good one.
146.
146.
It is if he gets it, though.
Yes,
Still got
well.
a chance.
Trouble. No.
I'd rather be shooting for 110 than I would 146 here, because you only need the one treble in this
73.
checkout.
Gary, you require 110.
There
Well.
it is. Tops on.
70.
Oh, and he was just a fraction away, and you could see the agony etched on his
Martin,
face
you
there.
require 73.
Okay, Martin. Treble 19. 14, double top. Double top. No.
33.
Well, take the chance,
Gary, you
Stone.
require 40.
I think he will on this occasion, you know, but he'll have to do it with double 10. That's a brilliant marker. No,
30.
that was a very good opportunity. He saw the
Martin, you
Shanghai
require
going on the leg
40.
before. Should have been confident, and it just didn't roll for him.
That's been the story of the match. Martin, double 10.
Game shot. And the third leg. Martin Adams.
Can't believe it, but there again,
Fourth leg.
It's the World
Gary to throw
Championship.
First. Game on.
Oh, another double for Martin Adams. This is not going to be a match Gary Stone will want to watch back again and again.
100.
Tell you what, though, if you're Scott Waits, if you're Dean Winstanley, the second and third seeds, you'll be looking at this, Tony, thinking, we've got a chance against Martin Adams this year. He's still averaging over 90, but only
44.
just. And this is not the Martin Adams we saw last year or the year before in round two. It's not the best performance we've ever seen, is it now?
83.
not really, but I must admire him on his finishing tonight. I mean, he's put some very good finishes away, and it's really, that's what's giving him the 90 average.
Yeah, he's taken the opportunities, you're right.
But it may not have happened if Gary Stone had have taken his doubles and put him under pressure.
100.
Because you can put Martin under pressure, he knows that himself.
Not
81.
sure what Martin Adams will make of this match, to be honest. He'll actually think to himself, I have to improve a little bit, because from the quarterfinals onwards, I'm not going to get away with the chances that I'm
81.
giving my opponent.
Yeah, well, he's only got 2 legs to go now, and he can go away and think about it. Think about the match.
100.
They're all as happy if they win, the players.
And look, Martin Adams there, only 7-1-40s. That's his fifth maximum.
180. Gary, you require
It's the 140s that he's
137.
been slipping on, and the crowd's still cheering while Gary Stone wanting to get on with it. That might be
59.
the last time he comes
Martin,
to the
you
stage.
require 96.
Yeah. Treble 20. Still treble 20. Single 16.
56.
As the old song
Gary
says,
requires
now
78.
or never for Gary Stone. Single 20 leaves double top to stay at the lakeside. Oh, and that's the
38.
cruelest of the lot. Caught the flight, bounced out of
Martin,
the
you
board. Is he
require
going to
40.
bounce all the way back to Bonnie Scotland?
Yeah, you've got to feel for him,
Game.
because that's
Shot.
it already now.
And the match, Martin
The
Adams.
bounce out. But Gary Stone just didn't have it with him tonight. Only the finishes, but Martin Adams marches on, and he can prove even on this game, even though he won 4-0.
Three times Zabilio world champion Martin